Welcome back and thank you very much. Let me say a very happy birthday to you, Messi 9pence, your sister, to our cameraman here, John 9pence. It's your birthday. We know you love TV3 New Day, so celebrate your birthday in grand style. And also very good morning to you, Madam Juliana Adosu Mensa, formerly of the Ghana Highway Authority. You love New Day and we love you right back. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you, and National Chocolate Day to you as well. We call it Valentine sometimes. The papers are here. Daily Graphic starts us off. It says, Ahafo, Bono East receive legal backing. Let's unite against vigilantism. IGP appeals to Ghanaians. Double track system. SHS2 students exit next academic year. Dr. Educhum is Deputy Minister for Education, and that's what he says. The Ghanaian Times reports this morning that Goso Techiman get nod as capitals of Ahafo and Bono East regions will not allow indiscipline in financial sector again. Guess who's speaking? The Bank of Ghana. Parliament halts passage of RTI bill, and Presidential Fiscal Responsibility Advisory Council inaugurated. Daily Guide. Techiman Goso win capital race. IOASO Commission calls for memos. It comes with a photo of Justice Emil Short. Woman faces prosecution for false kidnap alarm, and Morris Ampao hot over men's gold car. Inflation drops to 9%. And a banner headline, no witness for Agongo in $46 million fertilizer deal. The Business Finder, public finances, let's change course to ensure stability. President Akufo-Addo is calling on Ghanaians to help in that direction. Ghana ready for VW operations, Fitch, and inflation drops to 9%. BNFT is our final one for this morning. It says inflation drops to 6-year low, and Wenchia Greek Station land under siege. Phytosanitary and quality concerns remain. That's according to the UU. And for every delay in obtaining permit or license, we pay dearly. You can grab a copy of the paper and read. My guest this morning is the Honorable A.B.A. Fusaini. He is the Member of Parliament for Sanerigo and is also the Minority Spokesperson on Communication. Honorable, welcome. Thank you very much for your time. Johnny. Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Nice
or Chocolate Day.
Here again at TV3 and to meet you, Johnny.
I see.
And, very good people of TV3.
Absolutely. Yes. And we're looking forward to receiving Mr. Stephen Amoah. He's the CEO of Maslock. When he comes, we'll give him a chair to have a conversation. But today is Valentine's Day, Chocolate Day. What runs through your mind now? Let's start on a slow note.
I'm sure it's generally touted as a day. Let me say good morning to all your viewers across the world, and particularly to the good people of the Sanerigo constituency.
Okay.
I think it's been designated officially as Chocolate Day. Widely seen as a day to show affection and love. And I think it's a very good thing to show love. I've always said that it's better for us to increase our propensity for showing love to one another. And when we say love, it must not be restricted to that negative sense.
Okay.
Love will mean that to cherish the dignity of every human being.
Right.
To cherish the possibility of letting every human being feel human.
Okay.
To be one another's keeper. To ensure that we create a community of welfare where all of us are each other's keeper, and ensure that this nation moves in unison, where one is a protector and supporter of a brother and sister. I think that generally, once you have that system in place, it's very good for all of us. And I think that we should, in our individual ways, contribute our widow's mite to ensuring that we have that system of love and caring for one another. I think that is the only way we can live together as a nation, community of tribes, ethnic groups, different religious persuasions and others. I am very proud to be a Ghanaian, that the legendary Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of this nation, has welded us into a monolithic whole. And in spite, Johnny, you can see the pockets of troubles that have sprung across the left and breadth of the West African sub-region. Ghana has remained an oasis of peace, order and stability. I'm sure we should continue to.
I'm just wondering if you have a quote on love, because you are known for proverbs and all of that. Do you have a quote on love, or a proverb on love that you want to share this morning?
Johnny, I can say that it is always important to remember that the proverb that we always have to say that is you must first have heard before you can chew corn. You must have love before you can progress to do anything better for your nation.
Right.
Without love, you are sterile, you are empty. It is from the love that you get the energy to work to ensure that the entity that you cherish.
Absolutely. Yesterday, we added on to, earlier we had two from the northern part, Savannah and Northeast regions, they got legal backing. Yesterday, Ahafo and Bono East also got legal backing. But I'm interested in the reactions that have come out, you know, following the announcement. We saw what happened in Salaga, a bit of violence there. Subsequently, we have had apologies. We're told 7 people have been arrested. And then yesterday in Nkranza, we saw 60 young people from the MPP say they have defected. And I'm looking at the reactions. What's running through your mind? On one part there's violence, on one part there's defection, and all of that. What's happening to your mind?
Yeah, let me say first and foremost that it is important in our development paradigm to recognize that attempts to increase our regional setup is partly linked to efforts to see the country develop.
Right.
I think that is the general idea that informs the decision to create new regions.
Right.
But I, Johnny, I have always said that the sweetness of a pudding is not the aroma it emits. It's in the actual eating. So the creation of the regions for me is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end.
Right.
And so the processes that we adopt to get the regions finally created matter a lot. And the and managing, more importantly, the expectations of the people. As politicians, what do we tell the people? And what promises do we make to the people? Those are very important. So ab initio, first, let me condemn without any iota of hesitation the resort to violence to express people's discontent. In fact, in the aftermath of the announcement of the both the Savannah region and the Northeast.
Right.
Indeed, the Northeast, there were even reported acts of tension.
Right.
In places like Wali Wali and Gambaga.
Right.
When it was eventually announced that Nalirgu has been given the capital status. I want to say, without any item of hesitation, violence as a means for redressing grievances should have no place in our democratic dispensation. There are very well laid out processes through which people who are aggrieved or disenchanted with decisions that are taken to ventilate their grievances. So I'm sure that we should take advantage of that and do it rather than resort to violence. But you see, Johnny, if you listen to the wisdom of our elders, they said that if you transform your son into a monster, you will be among the likely candidates to be devoured.
How do you mean?
Yes. You see, we have encouraged a certain level of impunity in this country, where people have committed crass acts of lawlessness. People have taken the law of the land into their hands and ran riot, and nothing has happened to them. And I'm sure maybe we may have the opportunity to talk about the issue of party vigilantism.
Right.
Where people commit crass acts of lawlessness. They breach the law with impunity. Johnny, and nothing happens to them. 7
people have been picked up.
You see, under the aegis of a political party. And that is why I'm saying that I am all for the creation of regions that will in turn enhance the creation of more districts, so that our developmental effort would be spared.
Right.
So I think that it is important. It's important that we get that on. But having said that, I know, and I'm a politician. There are occasions when, in the run-up to these events, certain promises are made to certain people.
Did we hear any promise in this regard?
No, that's what I'm saying, that those promises are not announced.
Okay.
If somebody goes to make a promise to especially certain constituents and others, these are not.
It could be covert.
Yes, some of these are just things they do in the secrecy of their other party offices or certain places where it's not generally announced. And so certain people come out with certain expectations.
The minister said that nobody was promised in this instance.
The
lobbyists will not have their way.
The minister is my very good colleague in Parliament, and Honorable Damboche is a person, I'm telling you, many members of Parliament respect. But I can tell you without any iota of hesitation that on matters like that, nobody goes public with it.
Okay.
So especially when issues like this happen. It may or may not be the minister, but certain other people. You have district chief executives, you have other political and party apparatchiks who, in the bid to endear themselves to the people, will tell them many things. Johnny, nothing just comes from the blue and people react. People's expectations are shaped by certain things they are told. And so sometimes some of these things, when those expectations are on the spur of politicians' promise and they happen not to materialize, it blows their expectations out of that. I have said up in issue that we must condemn without any reservation.
Let's look at the reactions.
The resort to violence.
What happened in Salaga was violent. Everybody has condemned it. The people in Nkranza say we will not be violent. Rather, we will defect. 60 of them have crossed carpet.
Politically,
will it have any effect on the MPP, for example?
I, as a member of the National Democratic Congress, would be elated. But I'm just saying that
60 people.
Oh, I'm saying that it is not as if when you have 60 people, let me say it from the word go. In our politics, you know it's not 60 people. Let us assume it is true. The 60 people have, maybe if they are men and women, may have husbands and wives and children and other people they can influence.
Right.
So obviously the number is not just 60 as you look at it. It can be wider. But I have learned as a politician not to put an overwhelming importance on just defections as numbers.
Why so?
You beyond the defection figures, you need to do some more work on the ground as a politician.
Let me introduce Stephen Amoah. He's the boss at Maslock. Stephen, good morning and happy Chocolate Day to you. Welcome.
Happy Valentine Day.
Yeah. We are supporting chocolate from Ghana, so we say Chocolate Day, Steve. Let me pick your thoughts quickly. So yesterday, 60 young people in Nkranza in your party said they were not happy, but they would go the Salaga way. They would rather defect and leave your party. Maybe if Usini says, let's not look at this just as 60 because they could have a multiplying effect and all of that. Is the MPP worried about this defect?
If you ask MPP, ask me if I'm worried.
No, you because are here on your party's behalf.
I agree, but you know, if I say MPP...
Is Stephen Amoah worried on behalf of the MPP?
Why not? If even one person leaves your party, politics is about numbers. Let me greet my honorable member. I don't want to say. And sorry for today.
I know.
Trust me, I overslept. Forgive me. So why not? I'll just beg them to come back. We need them.
They are not happy with you.
I'm coming. If indeed they are MPP members, even if they are not, by the virtue of the fact that there's this I can't say. Obosom our Bekasi Kurumo Bar or Timbi. The Ghana's issue should not be reduced to some of these things. Sometimes people think they can say that, oh, they will tell NDC, hey, you lose election, hey, you never come to power, MPP you lose. Sometimes as if it's only the MPP NDC activists that will suffer if Ghana goes bad or enjoy when it goes good. My brother, we need them, but people shouldn't think that, oh, MPP will lose, and so NDC will lose, and so
when they promised,
who promised who? To the best of my knowledge, no. There was this deputy minister when I was coming was talking right now. He said he even didn't know we were going to create district regions. I don't know whether that was true. You understand? So,
but if you have a new,
I'm coming.
As was announced in the manifestos.
That is what he said. I'm not talking about myself. Okay. There are people who do policy, MPP and DC. Probably they don't really go detailed about. So he didn't even know.
Okay.
Till this whole thing started. Yet somebody called on radio and said he said before 2016 election. Because he said back then he didn't know that we were going to create districts, and then the place where he lives will be made the region. I don't think that is so. This is normal. It's not the first time. Normally when we are creating even districts, long before, years back, every town that has the capacity will want to. If you take it to Nkranza, other town will complain. If you take it to Techiman, other town will complain.
Have we managed it well? Have we managed this well?
Brother, as you say, have we managed it well? I'm sure. I know Martin Ejikosa and Dambuchi. They are very seasoned politicians. Honorable Dambuchi, Honorable Martin Ejikosa, and they are very good. They really understand politics. But of course, you know some of these things, people will get hurt. Even some will say they have defected, they will come back. Most of the time, some will never come back. And sometimes even the defection, it might not necessarily be NPP. Not all of them. I'm giving you various scenarios. Why are you when I say this?
I'm just asking.
It happens.
You know.
There are some people who say, "Oh, we don't want NDC. We've left NDC." For all you know, they are not. Some may be, but even if you lose one person, to me, it's valuable. So I'm begging them that they shouldn't look at. After all, the entire region is going to be developed. I was thinking we're going to even consider this discussion now. That what would be the economic benefit, the business benefit, the development.
They've been giving 20 million CDs.
Exactly, that's what we should discuss.
No, but
I'm not saying this is not important, but I'm talking about giving priority, giving concentration, talking about the profound nature of the economic activities that will boom. The money going there, people should be advised to make sure that they manage this money well to benefit the people. We don't want a situation where 20 million and then 10 million will go somewhere. This is what I hate. I am somebody that seriously I'm going to escalate and speed up my anti-corruption campaign. I'm not saying corruption is A, B, C, D, but it is a problem on the continent of Africa. Okay. So let us discuss how best can this decentralization, or in terms of structure, will bring the economic emancipation, economic benefit, the boom, the development that we will need. This is what I think we need to. But it's also important that those who have defected, we also talk about it. So in that line, yes. But I am begging them, they shouldn't think that the entire region, if government, this 20 million, if you are from Nkranza, definitely Nkranza.
Is the 20 million enough?
Or to start with. It doesn't mean it's only just 20 million. It's just development. You can't just say, I've given you 100 million. Definitely you start with something. If you want to do structure, you want to do 20 million, my brother, it's not a joke. It's Ghana that normally managing some of these funds. If we don't manage it well, people will take advantage. But trust me, Johnny, to start with 20 million is a huge thing. And we also have to commend the president and those who played active role, the chiefs there. In fact, those from Nkranza, all the towns, all the villages, they all did extremely well, making sure that this thing becomes a reality. All that we are praying is that we'll continue to need their cooperation so that we all work together and develop this country of ours. 21st century.
Right.
Brother, we need to change our country. Right. And I think it's one of the best decisions that the president has made in our political history.
Let me take the opportunity to welcome my brother Stephen Amoah.
20 million, is it okay?
But, yes. I think it's still at the level of a promise. It's supposed to be an allocation. Johnny, I sit in Parliament.
Right.
And we approve the budget presented by the Minister of Finance. There's a total difference between what is allocated,
what is promised,
what is released, and what is actually utilized.
Okay.
At the end of the day, even some ministries, departments, and agencies don't even get up to half. You may hear the special prosecutor has been given 180 million. Wait until the end of the year and see how much money he really has. Because the finance ministry only disburses what they have as a result of what government revenue that they are able to attain. And so in many of the instances, the releases are paltry. They don't come to be able to satisfy the budgetary requirements of the ministry, department, and agencies. So this one, we have heard of seed monies before being promised this. Let's wait. I say don't dance yourself late before the real dance. Let's wait. Anyway, and I you see, development, as I've said, I think that it can open up a stage for development. But for me, development is more crucial at the district, at the constituency, at the electoral area levels. Those are the areas that are where the preponderance of the people live. As for the regional thing, it only opens up an opportunity for what do you call it, for people in a certain distinct area to have that identity. But I'm telling you that real development takes place in the districts, in the constituencies, in the electoral areas. So that is where, if you really want to spread development across the length and breadth of our country, that is where you should go.
But the structure is there. The structure is there. So
yes,
there's a DC
yes,
who works with the minister.
So I'm saying that
there's RegSec, there's everything.
Yes, I'm
the
saying
structure
that
is already there. The RCC is there.
Yes, I'm saying that those structures are there nevertheless. But I am saying that it should be underlain at the grassroots level by structures that are workable and that ultimately are beneficiaries of funds that are released timelessly by government.
Are you suggesting that the regions are not as important, the new ones?
I can tell you that if you are talking about development, it is not the regions.
Oh,
that's
but your party proposed that.
Yes, we proposed that we will make some changes and that we will introduce some new regions. We did. I'm not saying that creation of new regions are a waste of time. I'm not saying so. Okay. I'm saying that if you are motivated towards ensuring that you spread development at the local level, it is more at the district and the electoral area level,
right?
Rather than so, you see, we had a disjoint. For instance, in the creation of this in the OT region, in the voter region, right. When new districts were created, the voter region didn't get anything. And so I'm saying that if you are actually motivated towards ensuring that development will take place in areas that you are concerned about, you should be creating more districts. You don't create any district at all in an area, but there's a region that has been created.
There have been new districts that have been created.
I'm just telling you, go back and look. For instance, in the voter region, how many districts were created?
Oh,
how many?
Tell me. You're talking region specific.
Yes, no, I'm just giving you.
I know that.
I'm giving you one example. Even in the northern region, the northern region is almost half of the size of the until this split.
Right.
How many districts were created in the northern region? So I'm just telling you, the preponderance, the regions that were created in Ashanti and Eastern region alone were more than the rest of the country put together.
Because the size of population.
But the requirements.
Because of population size.
You see, I disagree with you. Are you telling me that? I'm just telling you that.
Alaji, hold on for
Johnny.
The requirements for the creation of a district.
Size of population.
The population comes in, the economy of the area comes in, the facilities comes in. There are lots of things that come to play.
Johnny, I'm saying that if you put Ashanti, the new districts that were created, Ashanti and Eastern region together, they were more than the rest of the districts created. Are you saying Ashanti and Eastern region, their population is more than the rest of the country? It cannot be.
So what are you suggesting?
So it cannot be. So I'm just giving you how skewed it was. And for that matter,
skewed to what purpose?
Skewed in terms of the fact that I just gave you an example of the voter region, where you are creating a new region. But in terms of district, you don't have any districts that are created. So that is the skew. Whereas you can have the preponderance of districts, new districts, and others that are created located in
quickly.
I'm just making a fair assessment. I'm sure that
he's spoken.
You are not.
He has been talking.
I'm not talking just politics, but that is the reality.
Please. I think Ghana policy should be there, but let's be very sincere with God and try to do things that will move this country forward. I'm surprised that even creation of regions are not important because it doesn't enhance development.
Was that what he said?
But he's saying that if it's development, it's only.
I said more. I did not say it's not important. Please quote me well.
Stephen,
I didn't say that.
He actually trivializes the creation of the regions, saying that the regions, if it's development, it's only the district and the electoral areas.
So
he said if we're looking for more
development, then go.
So relatively, but it's almost the same thing.
So that's the inference you want to
draw. Let me ask you, if you really want to ensure that in terms of development we get to where we want to get to, my brother, number one factor is trying to decentralize your structures and enhance and ensure supervision.
Have we been able to do that?
We are in the process. I'm one person. I always think development of Ghana is being extremely slow if you travel elsewhere.
That's a fact. That's because supervision is not there.
Because to develop a country is a process. It's not event. Time and time, right from colonial masters up to now, as a country, in my opinion, on the aggregate, we haven't done well. And we haven't done well not only because of leadership. Of course, it plays critical role. All of us. We live in a country that every set of people or group or whatever or unit people are corrupt, their actions and inactions are dysfunctional to performance of our country. They behave anyhow, they don't care, they change issues, they distort stories. The things they say
but still, you are in the saddle now of government. What's your plan?
But our plan is to, one, make sure we develop this country very well, build structures for tomorrow. That is why we make sure that fundamentally our economic structures were very good, and I compare. Indeed, it's good. Our plan is
the city is not doing well.
Ask me, let me speak.
The city is not doing well.
The city is not doing well. I accept, but I'm telling you, pick all other parameters. Pick all other parameters. Pick everything.
Can I give you some parameters that are not performing well?
Please, when he was talking, I kept quiet. Honorable, if you like, let's discuss Ghana. Bring all the facts. When we took over from all the primary macro indicators, pick all of them, even secondary. Pick industry, pick agriculture.
But the CD is central.
Oh, you want to tell me? I'm not saying it's not important, but you want to tell me.
If you don't have money, how do you go and come?
If you go to the bank and you used to borrow at interest rate of about 40 and now it's 22, 24, you think that is less important?
But if I can borrow, Stephen,
please,
slow down.
Please.
Stephen, if I can borrow and go and export or import.
But is it everybody that exports? No, let me ask you, how many people export?
That's what I want to do.
But yes, that's
so are you boxing me?
Can you allow me to talk? Can you allow me to? What I'm saying is that when he says CD, I appreciate it. But I'm telling you, it doesn't give food. But people who use money from the bank to do business are far more than people who import in our country. Go and check. Go and check.
So
go
if
to
I want to import, I'm restricted.
Boss, why are you limiting this into one factor? I'm saying that yes, the city, but check all other factors. What is the inflation today? What is our deficit today? What is our debt to GDP today? In terms of interest rate, what is it today? People were going to school, their allowances were scrapped. Teachers and nurses, we restored them, didn't we? At least somebody who lives in Salaga, Afrancho, where I come from in Kumasi, somebody who lives in Aflao, who doesn't have a father, finished JHS, sitting home, now is in school. So we are saying that less than 2 years, what we've done is far better than even the NDC's 8 years. And it's a fact. The facts are there. Go and check the figures. You have to allow me to
okay.
No. So please, you don't pick just one parameter and say things are not okay. What I'm saying is that developing our country, okay, you do a lot of reviews and adjustments. One of them that our president thinks he wants to do is to increase supervision, ensure that development goes down there.
I haven't seen much of that, and apologies.
Much of that.
I haven't seen much of that.
Much of which one?
I went to Lejo Kuku last week to do an outside broadcast.
Much of what? What are you talking
supervision.
About? Supervision.
Yes.
So we are talking about creation of regions, and I'm saying that we are decentralizing our structures to enhance supervision. But we just launched the regions.
If you slow down for me,
no. What I'm saying, we have done the regions. So it's after some time you go to the regions.
If you slow down for me, I want to talk about decentralization, and that's I think the basic point we're all raising here.
Can I ask you one question? It doesn't enhance supervision.
It doesn't enhance. If you listen to my question, I'm sure you will understand my question. I was at Lejo Kuku last Friday. We had an outside broadcast there, and the municipal coordinating director didn't even know the status of a contract of a road that was being contracted named in the budget. That's his turf to supervise. He didn't know. The persons with disability fund had been left. Iyoko had stepped in. All of these things all of these things are supposed to be working.
No, have been left where?
Well, funds mismanaged and all of that.
Managed by who?
Mismanaged.
So now you have your facts that is mismanaged. That has been to somebody found guilty. So please, you're a media man. You can't.
Stephen,
what I'm saying, you can't sit on this and say it's been mismanaged when you and I know. Please. So if the man takes you on now and takes you to court, you go to court and say that I have facts and figures. I'm not saying what you're saying. You are lying.
That's what you're saying.
No, it's very unfair. What I'm saying, look.
Listen, let me ask my question.
Every time I am here, you guys do this to me.
Oh no, Stephen.
No, it's very bad.
I think you're in a situation.
Me and you. But what I said, I'm not saying every part of Ghana.
Allow me to ask my question.
Let me also tell you.
No. You don't ask questions here. I ask questions, you answer them.
Then so let him talk.
Allow me to ask my questions.
Since I started talking, I haven't even finished one sentence. Really? Anytime you cut me, so talk. I'm listening.
No, I'm sure.
Let him talk. So let him talk. No, let him talk.
You can't bring your heart every time.
No, you also can't do this every time.
But I need to ask you questions.
Boss, ask me questions. But I'm saying
You're talking about supervision.
I'm saying creation of regions will bring supervision and other.
And
then you say, oh, I went to jail.
And I'm talking about a district that already exists. I'm saying, if we want to create a new one and to have a new template, the one that already exists, how have we managed
Are we talking about districts or regions?
That's what I'm asking.
No, I was talking about regions.
But districts work up to regions.
Exactly. So even this one buttresses the fact that even maybe Greater Accra is so large, probably for regional minister to work hand in hand with district managers and other things, probably because it's large and the population is large. If what you're saying is true, then it means even creation of additional regions are also even good.
You see,
I am telling you,
this is the Greater Accra region, by the way.
Johnny, you see, it comes back to the point that I made. You see, and he's come back. You see, I've always said,
come back anyway.
The bird flies in the air, but its final is performed on the ground. You can create the number of regions that you like. At the end of the day, the most important thing are the districts, and like I said, the latter areas. Those are the areas that you look. In Parliament, what was brought for the entire District Assembly Common Fund for the 2019 budget from 1.57 billion to 1.7 billion for the entire 260 districts across the country. Okay, now look at the even for the office of the president alone, over 1.9, that is office of the president. I'm not talking of office of government machinery. 1.9 billion for that one alone. Compare it. So if you are talking about development in the country, the assemblies which are supposed to spearhead development at the local level, look at the resources that they're giving them. So even the coordinator you are talking about, if they are very honest with you, when you go there, all of them will tell you that a lot of times they have to fold their hands and sit down. They are being chased by debtors because the assemblies don't have the money.
They get internally generated funds from property.
How many
business operations?
We are talking about just, if you are even going less than 5 to 7% of assemblies can have their revenue generations on target. Most of them cannot. Most of them have a precarious reliance on the common fund, and they are not able to generate the requisite level of internally generated funds to be able to meet the developmental challenges. So a lot of them are precariously reliant on the common fund at the central government level. So most of the time when these funds don't come, they are left in the country.
Anyway,
and so that is why I'm saying that if a government that has an interest in spreading development, you should look more at the local level.
Okay,
let us. But I'm just saying that he wanted areas where.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it.
I wanted to give him many more areas where this government has engaged in very abysmal performance.
Let's leave it.
Look at revenue targets; they've all missed.
The daily
expenditure.
Thank you, Alaji.
Borrowing within 2 years. Within 2 years, they borrowed over 50 billion Ghana cedis, and there's nothing to show for it.
Alaji,
so I'm sure we could go on that target. I wanted to give him more.
Thank you. The Daily Guide newspaper reports this morning.
You are saying thank you. Wouldn't you ask that to GDP? That's what we do. You don't talk about that alone. It's an understanding
and euphemism for just reckless borrowing.
Gentlemen,
reckless borrowing. When you left this country, industry performing negative zero.
When
you stole money so much.
I was asking him.
You did you stole the money from this country.
Who was making all those decisions about the city? He said that
no.
It's not about here in town.
Stephen,
the city is dropping like a coconut.
Alaji, slow.
Today, the person who supported them with their businesses are collapsing.
Slow down.
He's away.
Stephen, don't create.
Businesses are collapsing.
It's okay, boss. It's all right. I'm okay. Let's go on. Have I said?
You were setting his own question. I haven't said anything. And you were attempting to set your own question.
I haven't said anything.
We set questions here. Let's go on. And you answer the question.
Businesses are collapsing left and right and center.
Page 3 of the Daily Guide. I asked the commission for memos.
You are stealing money like
you are put out their microphones for me. Thank you very much. Your microphone. Your microphones are off. Your microphones are off.
Where are they there?
Have you proven anything against it?
You don't understand the court.
Are you saying they're going to court?
You don't understand court system.
It's not proof.
Have you proven anything against anybody?
Have you proven anything against anybody? You now see that you are turning the justice system down.
Can you let
this person as proving guilty? You are saying that proving guilty before innocence. You are turning the laws.
That is why Christians and Muslims will not vote for you. NDC.
Telephone numbers of people who answered questions we asked yesterday. Then happy Valentine's Day to my wife Grace Mensa aka Aisha, my 2 kids Awenam and Elikem, and to my dear Totome family. I love you all from Pisco inside Agona Swage. And then finally, my brother, if she insists she will eat pizza or chocolate on Valentine's Day, tell her to go read Numbers 9:11. The scripture is specific on the food to be taken on 14th February. Numbers 9:11, he quotes, in the second month of the 14th day in the evening, they shall keep it. They shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. You get it? For that day, the law of Moses will prevail. This is coming from Kojo. Well, Kojo, I hope you can do something better than that this morning to your loved ones. And hi, I'm Kumi Prince from Akima Kroso. I'm enjoying your program live on TV3. God bless you all and happy Valentine's Day to you all. Have a nice day. Johnny, that's about it for this morning. We hope.
Thank you very much. The man doesn't have money to celebrate Valentine's Day. He's quoting Bible. Well, let's wrap up the conversation this way. And the IRSO Commission is sitting today. Starting sittings today. What are your expectations?
Sorry?
IRSO West Wuogon Commission is sitting today. Do you have expectations?
First, anybody that got hurt, I pray that that person wouldn't go to any further ordeal. Secondly, what I'm expecting is very honest, transparent work will be done on this. Okay. Because one of the areas we have been suffering as a country is this election violence. It's been happening. Now, the other day I gave you a story right from Kwame Nkrumah time, where we have Bafo. Yeah. Somebody stabbed Chumasi and Bafo. Exactly. Through to our brothers NDC, you know, they started this Azuka Boys and other things. MPP time, they also came, and we had what is this? Delta Force. You understand what I'm saying? These issues, whether it's party A or B, it is something we all have to condemn because they derail development. And it's not good. 21st century, we should be, I think, in my opinion, all of us civilized enough to know that these things are dysfunctional to the performance of our republic and that we need to change. It is time we stopped these behaviors. And if it will happen, commission such as what has been actually set up by the president should do their work not to favor any party and come out with the truth. Anybody involved that will be found culpable has to be dealt with by the law. Whether NDC or MPP or even non-partisan or whatever. I think we need to move forward and make sure that all elections conducted in our country, whether you are in government or in opposition, you'll be protected. And the police and other security agencies should also begin to work neutrally. We cannot keep on losing lives. Look, if we lose somebody from MPP, NDC, CPP, anywhere, to me, it doesn't make sense.
The NDC say they will not cooperate with the commission.
But, of course, I think they have their democratic right. They have it. I mean, no wonder. I mean, a party that when they were even in parliament, a widow that is supposed to be consoled. Look at the words they used on her just because of politics. A widow that has never pulled knife before. Look at the words, NDC MPs, including my honorable member here, that we all should have soft heart for women. And a woman that has lost a husband, going through pain. Look at what they did to her, just a tiny ant in parliament. Look at the way they treated this woman. So no wonder. But all that I'm saying, whether they are part of it or they are not part of it, I'm praying that the commission will do this thing.
They don't believe the commission can solve the problems of our
Fine. That is why the commission should prove NDC wrong. They should do their work very well. I think possibly they should do their work. Even if we have money, live on TV. Because look, NPP boys misbehaved. NDC boys misbehaved. I have all the photographs. I can show you somebody who was there. There were two. One of them got me. I wasn't in the country anyway, but when I came, they sent to us. I know the so-called the Hawk. That before even this election, an aspirant in Ashanti region, my own brother, is not good ethically to mention his name for security reasons, but it's all over. Telling them that any election it will be this, going out there, they charge.
So if
and
we
some
have
of
that
the guys
evidence,
there,
pictorial evidence, why set up a commission?
No, they know.
When the police could just...
Oh, but it doesn't... I can even stab you right now. But once it's mob action, they can do to find further the remote calls, the immediate calls, where other people, maybe not all of them, exactly.
Investigate to conclude on that matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, we have police, but many a time, NDC said commission, MPP said commission. I mean, all that I'm praying that whether it is the police or the commission, they shouldn't say that, oh, because MPP is in government, they are shielding somebody.
Right.
And they shouldn't say because NDC they are in opposition, they want to come and say they did this. They should do honest work.
We got to go. Alaji, wrap up for me. The commission starts a sitting today. Is inviting memorandum from the people.
First and foremost,
on or before 20th. What are your thoughts?
First and foremost, let me remind my brother.
Everything you want to do politics.
No, it's okay. We're wrapping up. Alaji, we don't have time.
Yes,
so.
He said that if there were any people who were hurt,
Right.
If there were any people who were, I mean, my brother Stephen should know that people were hurt, people were shot, people were even there are some who are still battling for their lives as we speak.
What happened?
By the bloodthirsty goons dressed in national security uniform that the MPP sent into the Ayawaso West Woodland.
Are you not
MPP
being too sharp?
sent.
MPP.
Are you not being too sharp?
Your minister for Minister of State,
Stevie, allow
nobody speaking.
Stevie, he kept quiet.
In the northern region, they tie people to.
This was what you were complaining about.
Allow him to speak. The words are very strong.
Allow him to speak.
Look at MP using black tyrant. Is it you are already for him to use this anti-social words?
Stevie, you are not being fair to him.
But he's being fair using
You are
social
not being fair to
unacceptable
him.
vocabularies here.
I said, I asked him.
As MP,
those
an
are too
elderly
sharp.
man, you
Stevie,
use these
Alaji.
words, and your people are watching.
Alaji.
bloodthirsty goons of the MPP
Look at it.
were sent into the constituency to shoot
And
at
allow
innocent
Stevie, your
Ghanaians.
mic is off, actually.
To shoot
And
at
you allow
Ghanaians.
him to use this.
Johnny, whose only crime was that they had gone there to exercise their democratic right to vote.
The commission sits today.
Look,
What are your expectations?
I'm just before I get there.
No, we don't have a lot of time.
No,
Forgive
Johnny,
me.
what has happened was the greatest day of shame for this country.
Hey,
Will your party
Yesterday I was there with His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, and President Mahama was briefing
Will your party cooperate
he had a
with the
meeting with the
commission?
diplomatic community. I'm coming. I will just land on that. And yesterday I can tell you,
the president said that you forgot your own
Stephen,
president.
allow him.
Former president.
I want an answer from him. Will your party cooperate with
because
the
he knows
commission?
he knows that
Stephen Amwa.
they are west of
Stephen
President
Amwa.
Mahama,
Will your
former
party
president.
cooperate with the commission?
God,
Look,
they are very violent. You know.
Johnny, we have said that this commission is a total waste of the taxpayers' money, a total waste of time, and an attempt to cover up on this heinous crime that was committed.
Okay.
Johnny, we always the evidence was abound on TV. We just needed to allow the police. This is the government that has petrified the police.
Okay.
And they are preventing the police. No, Johnny, let me
I thank you very much indeed. And we're wrapping up now. Alaji, thank you. Honorable Alaji ABA Hussein is the MP for Sanarego. Alaji, thank you. And is the minority spokesperson on communications. The Stephen Amwa is the boss ambassador.
If they allow the
Thank you,
police
gentlemen.
to perform